Firstly, a very big thank you to Alistair, who has donated Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and Tyranid Codexes to this project. I'm looking forward to getting to those in due course. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. If anyone else would like to donate old codexes to this project, please get in touch. Marauth chanted quietly. Codex Eldar 3rd edition, written by Gav Thorpe, with additional text by Andy Chambers, Jervis Johnson, and Tuomas Pirinen. Page 33. Narrated by R.J. Bailey. Marauth chanted quietly, his voice barely a whisper, the complex spell spilling from his lips in a continuous stream of syllables. As he wove the enchantment, the runes and sigils adorning the portal began to glow, some white, others gold and silver, their inner fire casting flickering shadows across the Farseer's face and his heavy robes. Passing his hand across the gateway, he spoke the final verse, sealing the entrance to the webway for all eternity. He turned and faced the warlocks around him. "It is done. The runes of ending have been invoked. Our enemies will find no passage through here now," he told them. The youngest of the warlocks, Carhadron, who was barely 300 Eldar years of age, made a respectful gesture to attract Marauth's attention. "Morfessa, I do not understand the necessity of closing the webway through this portal." The warlock's young face expressed his sincere concern. "If your divinations are correct, and the dark kin will find this path to us, then surely is it not better to be prepared with warriors and weapons, and to destroy them once and for all?" "What you say holds much truth," Marauth replied. "As you know, the webway, what remains of it, links us to the ancient places and the other craft worlds. It binds us together and allows us to move swiftly and unseen by the eyes of our enemies. Yet the dark kin found their refuge from the fall within its winding paths, and their dark city spreads like a stain in its depths. They do not know all the ways and means and places within the webway. Only the Harlequins could claim that skill. But on occasion they will stumble, by chance, upon the correct turning or upon one of our portals. The Infinity Circuit has shown that this will happen here in this place. It could be many years before the possible events I witnessed come to pass, and we have not the resources for such vigilance as would be necessary. We require certainty on this, an absolute surety against attack, which only the sealing of the portal brings. If even one of the dark kin broke through our watches, they could gain access to the Infinity Circuit. Such a treasure trove of our ancestors' spirits would be irresistible to them. The carnage they could wreak in our most holy of places is beyond countenance. No, better to be certain." Carhadron gave a bow, his eyes lowered out of respect. "Your wisdom is faultless, as ever, Morfessa. I am most sorry for my lack of understanding and lack of faith," the warlock apologized. Marauth smiled warmly, raising the warlock's chin with a slender finger so that their eyes met. "Never apologize for asking questions, young seers," the Farseer told his acolytes. "Through asking questions we find answers, and through those answers we gain greater knowledge of ourselves and the universe around us." Marauth's face hardened, his jaw clenched tightly. "Our race stopped asking questions once before, and our complacency all but destroyed us. That must never happen again." You have been listening to Marauth Chanted Quietly, Codex Eldar 3rd edition, written by Gav Thorpe, with additional text by Andy Chambers, Jervis Johnson, and Tuomas Pirinen. Page 33. Narrated by R.J. Bailey. Thank you to Gav Thorpe, Andy Chambers, Jervis Johnson, and Tuomas Pirinen for writing the fiction I grew up with. Additional thanks to Tuomas for helping me pronounce his name correctly, or as near to it as we were able to get. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a review where you found it, or like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, depending how you're listening. This production, like all of Oldex, is entirely unofficial and uncommercial, from an out-of-print publication, is a derivative work with all copyrights owned by Games Workshop, and is a celebration of the hobby and lore I grew up with. If you have any suggestions for other old Codex fiction for me to narrate on this podcast, you can comment, contact me on Twitter @RJBailey, or email robertjbailey@gmail.com. Links are in the show description.